Have you ever just stopped and wondered why, in a world with so much comfort and safety, we feel more stressed and anxious than ever? I mean, think about it. We've got apps for literally everything, food can show up at our door, and we have more information at our fingertips than any other time in history. And yet, we're overwhelmed. Well, in this explainer, we're going to solve that puzzle, and we're going to do it by meeting the oldest, most powerful system running your life.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. The heart of the problem is this massive conflict between the world we live in and, well, our biology. The best way to think about it is this. Our modern life is like the latest, slickest software. It's all apps, social media feeds, and these abstract deadlines. But the hardware it's running on, that's our brain. And that hardware is ancient. It hasn't had a major update in something like 200,000 years. And that clash, that friction between the software and the hardware, that's the key to understanding so many of our daily struggles.
So, let's get to know this ghost in the machine. We're talking about an ancient operating system that's just humming along, quietly, underneath every single conscious thought you have. Which, brings us right back to that huge question. If you think about it logically, our lives should be easier than ever before, right? So why is there this constant low-level buzz of anxiety? Why do we get so easily distracted by things that honestly just don't matter? What is going on here? Well, here's the big reveal. That feeling you have, it isn't a personal failing. It's not a sign that you're broken. It's a biological feature. You see, underneath every career move you make, every tense text message you get, and every single looming deadline, there is an ancient survival system pulling all the levers. All right, so let's put a name to this thing so we can really start to get it. It's time to meet the survival expert who's been living inside your head all along. We're going to call it the Inner Caveman. And look, this isn't just some cute metaphor. This is a biological reality. We're talking about your ancient brain circuits, parts like the amygdala and the limbic system that were perfectly, brilliantly designed to keep you alive in a world full of predators and famine, a world that, for the most part, just doesn't exist anymore. Think of it like your brain's own little survival team. You've got the amygdala, that's your smoke detector, constantly scanning for any hint of danger. Then there's the limbic system, which is basically recording all these powerful emotional memories to help you remember what's safe and what's not. And then you have the prefrontal cortex. He's kind of the new guy on the team. That's your modern, rational planner. But here's the thing. When stress hits, those older, more powerful systems can just shout it down in an instant. So here's the crucial point, the insane mismatch in environments. The caveman's world was all about immediate physical threats. We're talking predators in the grass, the real possibility of starvation, and living in these tight-knit tribes of maybe 100 people. Now look at our world. It's totally abstract. A never-ending waterfall of notifications, invisible deadlines, and the weird social pressure of billions of strangers online. So let's explore how this huge conflict actually plays out in our day-to-day lives. And it turns out scientists have a name for this exact problem. It's called evolutionary mismatch. It's what happens when these brilliant adaptations that literally kept our species alive for millennia are suddenly a terrible fit for the new world we've built for ourselves. And the result? All sorts of negative consequences for our modern health and happiness. And this just brings it to life perfectly. Back then, a little rustle in the grass could mean a predator was about to pounce, which would trigger an immediate, full-blown stress response. Today, a vibration in our pocket from a work email can trigger the exact same biological alarm bell. And that's the real punchline. Your body literally cannot tell the difference between a physical threat and a psychological one. A critical comment on social media or a looming deadline can cause the exact same survival hormones, I'm talking cortisol and adrenaline, to flood your bloodstream as if you were staring down a saber-toothed tiger. This mismatch, it explains so many of our weird modern behaviors. Procrastination? It's not just you being lazy. It's your ancient brain avoiding a task where failure might have meant being kicked out of the tribe. Overeating when you're stressed? That's your inner caveman trying to hoard calories for a potential famine. And that endless scrolling on social media? It's a hunt for social connection, because belonging to the tribe used to be the difference between life and death. So if we can't argue with this ancient brain, and we definitely can't ignore it, what on earth are we supposed to do? Well, the answer is to stop trying to speak the language of logic and start learning to speak the language of the body.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? You can't just tell yourself, hey, stop being stressed. It just doesn't work. Your nervous system doesn't understand your logical arguments. It needs proof. It needs to actually feel safe.
So how do we give it that proof? We do it by learning its language. See, the inner caveman speaks in physical sensations, a racing heart, a knot in your stomach, that tension in your shoulders. It doesn't get pep talks. The first step, really, is to just start listening to these physical signals without judging them. And this right here is the fundamental reframe we all need to make. Those feelings of anxiety or fear or that sudden craving, they're not static you need to tune out. They are vital pieces of information being sent to you from your ancient operating system, which is just trying its absolute best to keep you safe. And when you start treating your emotions like data, you begin this kind of quiet revolution inside yourself. It's a huge shift from just automatic reflex to conscious reflection. Now, this is really, really important to understand. The goal here is not to fight your inner caveman. It's not to silence it. Trying to suppress it is a battle you are going to lose every single time. So, if we're not trying to defeat it, what's the alternative? The goal is integration. It's all about becoming a translator. You learn to take these raw, ancient fear signals from your inner caveman and translate them into the actual context of your modern life. You start making it a conscious partner instead of this unconscious driver running the show. So how do you actually do this? It's through small, simple actions. When you feel that surge of anxiety, just breathe before you react. When you feel that inner critic pop up, just notice the feeling instead of piling on more judgment. Before you fire off that angry email or post, pause. Every single time you replace that automatic judgment with simple curiosity, you're actively teaching your nervous system that the world has changed. And please don't underestimate these little moments. Every time you consciously choose to pause instead of react, you're taking a small but absolutely monumental step in your own personal evolution. You are literally updating your brain's map of what's safe in real time. So the next time you feel that ancient pulse of fear or that intense craving or that powerful need for approval, just try this. Acknowledge it. Realize it's just your oldest self working overtime to keep you safe based on a really old script. So you can silently thank it for doing its job and then gently remind it that you're safe now. We made it out of the cave.